I was the middle child of 3 boys and grew up in the village of Barton Seagrave near Kettering, Northamptonshire. My father, Nigel, followed his father, Keith, into shoe manufacturing. As Coles Boot and Shoe Limited prospered, Grandpa Keith acquired more factories, including one in the village of Findon, where I returned home in 2011. I have a strong sense of coming back to my roots. A number of my parishioners remember Keith well and I think of him a lot. He was a funny, flamboyant peacock and Prince of Wales Czech with a wax mustache and a black Rolls-Royce. He was a man of great energy, loud, emotional and dominating in a rather adorable Mr. Toad sort of way. I loved him. He used to tell me that the shed next to the Weetabix factory was a treacle mine. I started playing the piano aged 4 in an effort to copy Grandpa, who was constantly showing off and entertaining us all, singing comic songs on his baby grand. Decades later, when Jimmy Somerville and I formed the Communards, I spent the advance from the record company on a lovely grand piano, which I still have. Grandpa Keith made shoes for Adam Faith and George Best. I was dazzled by such people. As a teenager, I was haunted by the idea of people living glamorously beyond my provincial horizons. Hearing my father's stories of flying down to the south of France to meet up with a grandpa, who had become friendly with Duke Ellington, intensified that feeling. By the time I went to drama school, my overriding ambition was simply to be famous. My endless fascination with food is inherited from Grandpa Keith, transmitted through my father, who would walk through fire for a decent fish soup. When my brothers and I were only 4 or 5, he used to give us tasters of whiskey and puffs of cigarettes, both of which I came to love. By the time I went to drama school, my overriding ambition was simply to be famous. I also adored my maternal grandfather, Leonard. Grandpa had been a dentist, but by the time I knew him, he was a church warden, creaky after a car accident. He smoked a pipe, had gin at 6 p.m. and was extraordinarily well-read. Grandpa and I used to talk for hours about religion and history. He was a very thoughtful, committed Anglican and his intelligence engaged me and contributed to the beginnings of my lifelong curiosity about religion. I remember seeing my mother, Elizabeth, as a glamorous figure. She and my father had busy social lives. Mum and I have always been on the same wavelength. She is quite feisty and has a great appetite for life. Once, when she was out for a walk, she started talking to a farmer and ended up having a go at shearing a sheep. I've also inherited her curiosity, critical eye on the world, sense of humor and mischief. When I was 16, I played Tom Robinson's Sing If You're Glad to Be Gay 2 or 3 times. She said, "Darling, are you trying to tell me something?" My father was the gentlest of men and such a kind father. I find it difficult to imagine Dad in armed conflict, doing his national service in Korea. He always loathed confrontation and I have something of that. Dad was quietly subversive. He didn't fall for people's BS and was quite skeptical about religion. When he developed Parkinson's, I saw the reserves of stubborn strength behind his mild manner. I got lucky with my parents. They were unfailingly loving and supportive, which gave me confidence about my place in the world. Bringing in the sheaves, wheat and chaff from my years as a priest by Richard Coles is published by Weidenfeld Nicholson at £8.99. To order a copy for £7.64, go to guardianbookshop.com or call 0330333646. Free UKPP on orders of more than £10, online only. Phone orders mint PP of £1.99.